Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel Civil Line. Myself Milan Patel, Assistant Professor at LG Institute of Engineering and Technology. Today's topic is Civil Engineering Materials. This is the fifth lecture of this chapter. In previous lecture, in lecture number 4, we have discussed three materials: steel, soil and mortar. In today's lecture, we will cover two materials: timber and plastic. Okay, so without wasting much time, let's begin with timber. In timber material, first we will discuss what is timber. Second, classification of timber. Third, structure of a tree. Fourth, qualities of good timber. Fifth, common market forms of a timber. Sixth, varieties of industrial timber. And lastly, we will cover various uses of timber. Let's start with what is timber. It is one of the oldest structural material used by man. It has valuable properties like low heat conductivity, low bulk density or weight, relatively high strength compared to its density, okay, amenability to mechanical working, okay. This timber can be used in building construction, bridge construction, tunnels, beams, columns, plates, foundation, flooring, stairs, roofing, etc. Okay, that's all about the timber. Now let's discuss the classification of timber or various types of trees. Okay, basically trees are classified into two categories. First is exogenous trees. This type of trees grows outwards like this. Okay, it increases in bulk by growing. Consecutive rings are formed in horizontal section of the tree. Okay, it is used for engineering type of purpose. Okay, so mainly for structural members, exogenous trees are used. Second type of tree is endogenous trees. This type of trees grow endwards by depositing each free layer internally. Okay, vertical growth of this tree is in the form of links attached end to end with a knot between two links. It has very little branches like this. Okay, it has very limited engineering applications. Okay, now let's discuss the types of exogenous trees. First is coniferous trees. These trees are called as evergreen trees. Okay, it has soft wood. The example of coniferous trees are balsam fir, red pine, Douglas fir, Ferrous fir, white pine, Scotch pine, etc. These are called as evergreen trees. Okay. Second is deciduous types of trees. These trees are of broad-leaved trees. Okay. It has hard wood. Okay. These type of trees are mainly used for engineering work or for structural members. Okay. The example of deciduous trees are red oak, elm, honey locust, red maple, black locust, white birch, beech, crimson king, etc. Okay, these deciduous exogenous type of trees are mainly used for commercial purposes. Okay, that's all about the classification of trees. Now let's discuss the structure of a tree. Okay. You can clearly see the structure by these two figures. Okay, in which first we will understand pit. The innermost central portion or the core of the tree is called as pit, or you can also call as medulla. You can clearly see the pit or medulla in these figures. Second is hardwood. The inner annual rings surrounding the pit is known as hardwood. Okay. Third is sapwood. The outer annual rings between hardwood and cambium layer is known as the sapwood. You can clearly see sapwood in this. Okay. Fourth is cambium layer. Thin layer of sap between sapwood and inner bark is known as cambium layer. Okay. You can clearly see the cambium layer. Fourth is inner bark. The inner skin or layer covering the cambium layer is known as inner bark. Okay, sixth is outer bark. The outer skin or cover of the tree is known as outer bark. You can clearly see the outer bark. Okay. Seventh is medullary rays. The thin radial fibers extending from pit or medulla to the cambium layer is known as medullary rays. You can clearly see medullary rays in this figure and also in this figure. Okay. That's all about the structure of the tree. Now let's discuss various qualities of good timber. First quality of good timber is freshly cut timber should be hard and shiny in appearance. Okay, it should have dark brown and uniform color. It should form hardwood. Okay, it should be free from all defects. It should be durable and long lasting. It should have straight and close fibers. Okay, it should be strong for working as structural members. Okay, it should be very tough. Okay, it should be heavy in weight. It should be capable of retaining shape during conversion or seasoning process. Okay, freshly cut timber should smell very sweet. Okay, it should be easily workable. Okay, you can easily mold it in any shape. Okay, that's all about the various qualities of good timber. Now let's discuss various market forms of timber. First is log. It is a trunk of tree with branches cut and barks removed. This is called as logs. Second is balk. It is roughly a square log of wood. Okay. Third is post. It is square or round piece of wood having diameter from 15 cm to 30 cm. Okay. Fourth is dill. It is board nearing 10 cm thick and 25 cm width. Okay. Next is plank. It is a board having thickness 5 to 15 cm and width having 25 cm or more. Okay. Next is batten. It is a thin plank having thickness 3 to 5 cm and width 18 cm or less. Okay, this is called as battens. Next is scantling. It is a miscellaneous sizes of wood like this. Okay, these are the various common market forms of timber. Now let's discuss various varieties of timber. First is veneer. These veneers are thin sheets of wood like this. Okay, the thickness of veneer varies from 0.4 mm to 6 mm or more. It is obtained by rotating blocks of wood against sharp knife of rotary cutter. Okay, these veneers after being removed are dried in kilns to remove their moisture. Okay, this is called as veneer. It is basically used in various furniture items. Okay, second is plywood. The plywood are thin board made by giving together thin sheets of veneers under pressure. So it is a combination of various veneers one by one. Okay, the number of veneers is always kept odd. Okay, it is lighter in weight compared to other materials. It is better in appearance also. It has same thickness of wood. It is much stronger than the wood. Okay, this is called as plywood. This is mainly used in various furniture items. Okay. Third is fiber boards. These are hard and rigid boards having thickness 8 to 15 mm. Okay, it is made by pressing hard a heated mass of wood. Okay, it is also known as pressed wood or reconstructed wood. These are lighter, softer, and a porous material. Okay. Next is impact timber. It is a processed timber. In this, veneers are treated with resin materials. Okay, timber covered with resin is known as impact timber. The example of impact timber are formica or surmica. Okay, this is the example of formica. Next is compact timber. It is a variety of impact timber. Okay, it is prepared by curing the resin impregnated timber at high temperature and pressure. Okay, its strength and durability is more compared to impact timber. Okay, so it is the updated version of impact timber. Okay, and the last is laminated boards. It is similar to plywood, but in this compared to plywood, thicker veneers of sawn timber is used in the middle of the part. Okay, its thickness varies from 1 to 5 centimeters. Okay, these are the laminated boards. That's all about the varieties of industrial timbers. Now let's discuss the uses of timber. It is used in construction purposes including building construction, house courts, beams, rafters, bridges, piles, poles, etc. Okay, it is also used for furniture and cabinet making. It is used for door and window frames. Okay, it is also used for formworks and scaffolding in building construction. It is used in heavy packing cases such as machinery and similar stores. Okay, it is used in manufacturing, agriculture, implements, and tool handles. Okay, it is also used for manufacturing veneers, plywoods, laminated boards, etc. Okay, these are the various uses of timber. That's all about timber. Now let's move to the second topic in today's lecture, which is plastic. In plastic material, first we will discuss what is plastic, then we will discuss various types of plastic, then we will discuss the uses of plastic, and lastly we will discuss the properties of plastic. Let's start with what is plastic. It is a recent engineering material used all over the world. Plastic is a synthetic material made from wide range of organic polymers such as polyethylene, PVC, polyvinyl chloride, nylon, etc. that can be molded into any shape while soft and then set into rigid or slightly elastic form. Okay? It is an organic substance consists natural or synthetic binders or resins with or without molding compounds. Okay? The plastic are polymers having high carbon compounds and high molecular weights. Plastic is a combination of organic polymers, carbon, oxygen, nitrogen, and a sulfur. Okay, this is called as plastic. Now let's discuss various types of plastic. First is thermoplastic. It becomes soft and melt when heated. It becomes hard on setting. It can be remolded again and again. Okay, so it is also called as reusable plastic. Okay, it can be molded in any shape. The example of thermoplastic are nylon, polystyrene, polyethylene, acrylic, PVC, polyvinyl chloride, etc. Okay. Second is thermosetting plastic. This plastic, when heated, will melt and will become hard after prolonged heating. Okay. This is due to polymerization reaction. After setting or curing, they do not become soft by further heating. Okay, so it cannot be used further. Okay, the hardness is permanent, does not change on heating. Okay, it is hard, strong, resistant to heat and electricity, and also a cheap material. Okay, the example of thermostatic plastic is bakelite, polyester, epoxy, melamine, silicone, etc. Okay, so where there is a heat problem is there, thermosetting plastic is mainly used. Okay, bakelite is mainly used for making switchboards. Melamine is used to make the handles of crockeries. Okay, that's all about the various types of plastic. Third is uses of plastic. There are more than 10,000 different kinds of plastics available in the market, and their performance abilities span of those every other known material from soft rubber to steel. The typical uses of plastic in building are summarized as follows. Okay, it is used in bathroom and sanitary units. It is also used in cistern wall floors. It is used in corrugated and plain sheets. It is also used to make decorative laminates and moldings. It is used for making electrical conduits. Also used for making electrical insulators, frames for waterproofing, dampproofing, and concrete curing floor tiles. Plastic can be used. Okay. Forms of thermal insulation is made by plastic. Jointless flooring is also made by plastic. Okay, lightning fixtures, okay, overhead water tanks, paints and varnishes, pipes to carry cold water, roof lights, safety glass, wall tiles, water resistant adhesive, furniture items, all made by the plastic. Okay. Now let's discuss the properties of plastic. Why this plastic is mainly used in all items? Because this is light in weight. They have good resistance to most of the chemical properties. They have high electrical strength. They have good corrosive resistance. Plastic can be molded to any desired shape and size. They can be made transparent or in color also. Okay, they are cheap compared to the metal material. All operations like drilling, sewing, punching can be done on plastic. Okay, painting and polishing is not necessary on plastic. The plastic possesses excellent electric insulating properties compared to any material, and the plastic have low specific gravity, okay, or weight. The average specific gravity of plastic is about 1.3 to 1.2. Okay, so it is very lightweight, okay, compared to any other materials. These are the various properties of plastic. That's all about the material plastic. I hope you all understand these two material, timber and plastic. See you soon in the next lecture. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Civil Line. Thank you.